What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. How fitting that this ended up being episode 24. So today I'm just going to pay tribute to Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna, and the other 7 victims from that helicopter crash on January 26th. But before I get started, as always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and check the link in the description down below to see where I got my black-owned apparel. First off, I just want to say my condolences to Vanessa Bryant, the rest of Kobe's family, the rest of his friends, and the family and friends of the other 7 victims. Kobe's passing, Gianna's passing, this has got to be one of the saddest stories I think we've ever heard. And maybe in the history of this country, you know what I mean? Like, just the way it happened. I think a lot of people are still in disbelief about it. For me, I know I definitely still am. It kind of feels like a bad dream. I almost thought it was a hoax when I first got the news. I remember I was at work, and when I found out, I was sitting there just stuck for about 35 minutes, just looking at headlines and just reading them and trying to find a credible source, just trying to see if this was really true. Because we've seen this happen before with popular celebrities, where for whatever reason, every few years or so, their death trends on Twitter and they're not actually dead. So I'm thinking this has got to be one of those things, especially when you hear the way they said it was the way they said it happened. They said it was a helicopter crash. It just sounded so over the top that I thought it had to be some type of hoax. But every day, and I'm every day I'm waking up thinking some news is going to come out, like, no, Kobe and Gianna didn't actually pass. This accident didn't actually happen. But every day that doesn't happen and we don't get that news, reality just sets in more and more that Kobe, Gianna, and the 7 other victims aren't with us anymore. And it's just still a hard pill to swallow whenever I think about it. Again, like I said, the way it happened, the helicopter crash, just such a horrific accident. And people say that the helicopter was one of Kobe's main uses of transportation. So if that's the case, you just think, well, what went wrong today? Was it something with the helicopter? Was it the weather? And you just keep trying to ask yourself why and how, and trying to form some type of explanation, but nothing that anyone can ever conclude whatever makes sense to why Kobe and Gianna had to be taken at this time and in this way. The other thing that makes it so crazy is just like literally 10 hours before Kobe passed, before he was on that helicopter, 10 hours prior, he was tweeting at LeBron for passing him on the all-time scorers list. So you just think like, nah, there's no way. Like, Kobe was fine just 10 hours ago. Everything was cool. Like, and again, just reality sets in. No, this actually is real. And it's just upsetting every time you think about it. Every time I see something about Kobe on my timeline, I had to scroll right past it. I guess I'm kind of refusing to believe it. And I'm sure a lot of people are. It doesn't make sense. The man he was a living legend. I heard somebody say, basketball is old enough that we have legends, but the game is still young enough that we have our legends with us. So the fact that we have guys, like Shaquille O'Neal, Bill Russell, Larry Bird, and these guys are still alive. We still see them. And Kobe was just joining that class, only retiring 3 to 4 years ago, I think it was. He was a part of that class of living legends, and now he's no longer with us. So it just has me in complete disbelief. And when you're talking about Kobe Bryant, you're talking about a guy who came out of high school at 17 years old, right into the NBA, and immediately became a star. Went on to be an 18-time All-Star out of 20 years that he played, 5-time NBA champion, regular season MVP. This guy transcended basketball into pop culture. I think every young black boy born from the years 1990 to maybe 2000 can recall being in school, balling up a piece of paper, shooting it into the trash can, yelling Kobe. Like, that's just how ingrained into our culture he was. So it's just another blow or another thing that makes it hurt a lot more to hear about him passing. And for his daughter Gianna, she was going to be the one to carry on his legacy. People closest to them say that she was just like him when it came to her play on the court. They said she was built like him, she played like him, had his mentality and all that, and she was going to be the one to carry on his legacy. So to know that won't be able to happen is just tremendously heartbreaking. And Kobe was just still so young, only 41 years old, retired 3-4 years ago. It just was so cool to see him and Gianna courtside at the game, seeing Kobe and LeBron embrace before games or in between plays and things like that. That was just so dope to see, And I call myself a casual basketball fan. So for hardcore fans, particularly Kobe fans and LeBron fans, I'm sure that that meant a lot for them to see as well. And it just sucks that we won't be able to see that anymore. And seeing him post basketball, to me that was just such a dope thing. I mean, the man went from winning NBA rings to winning Oscars. Like, he didn't stop. As soon as he took his last shot on the court, he went right into dominating a whole new field, a whole new arena. And that's the thing about Kobe that I appreciate the most. Growing up as a big LeBron fan, I had a little animosity towards Kobe. So to me, it was always LeBron over Kobe. But even if you were like me, you still had to respect the Mamba mentality, the work ethic, the will to win, the desire to be the best. Just that competitiveness in Kobe, it's undeniable, man. It's what made him so great. It's what made him so successful. And he was taking that from the court right into all different fields. He had the Detail series with ESPN. Like I said, the Oscar for his short animated film based off of the poem he wrote. I believe it was called Dear Basketball. And it just sucks to see that, he was just getting to start a whole new chapter, a whole new life with his family. Kobe gave us 20 years. This is something else I also heard someone say. Kobe Bryant was a basketball player for more years than he wasn't. So, like I said, he went into the NBA at 17 and he played basketball in the NBA for 20 years. So he spent 20 years as an NBA player, more than he did spend, his years not as an NBA player. And so he gave us 20 years of his life, and he was just being able to, spend more time with his family, be there for, his daughter Gianna's games and all the other things he was, able to do with his family. And just to see that cut so short, being able to see Kobe be a girl dad, it was such a good thing to see. I loved seeing Kobe after, his NBA career. I loved seeing him in all of his endeavors post NBA. So again, it's just another thing that makes this so hard to accept, that he's no longer with us, and that we won't ever be able to see Gianna take that torch from him and make it to the WNBA one day and be a megastar just like her dad. Now, speaking of this Mamba mentality that I kind of touched on, I think that's the best way that we can keep Kobe alive, keep his legacy alive. The best way we can honor him. I think whatever you do, whether it's me making these YouTube videos, if you're a rapper, a singer, a dancer, if you love to cook, if you love to paint or draw, if you love to write, whatever it is, whatever your passion is, whether, maybe you're an athlete too, and that can carry into other sports other than basketball, is tap into your Mamba mentality. Whatever it is that you love, try to be the best at it, put everything you can into it, do the work, put in the hours, be meticulous about it, respect your craft, and, just try to make Kobe proud. So that's it, guys. I just wanted to make this short and sweet. Just wanted to pay my respects to Kobe, Gianna, and the other victims the best way I know how. Just talk about what Kobe meant to me. the impact he's had on me, and how I think we keep his legacy alive. And speaking of which, I think there's one more thing. There's one more thing we can keep doing. I think you all know what it is. I want to thank you guys for watching. Kobe.